Hello, Internet. It is I, the Malik Aaron, and welcome back to Box Office Predictions. Today, we're going to be talking about the unbearable weight of massive talent. So, as usual, we're going to be going over the pros and cons. So, let's get to it. Pros: movie stars, the man, the myth, the legend, Nicolas Cage, who plays Nicolas Cage. That's I'm not joking. That's actually what this is. So Nicolas Cage, this man, this enigma. Oh, where do I start with him? I mean, he's been around since like the '90s, even before that. Jeez, but he really got started like in the '90s. That's like he really took off. I believe. I'm trying to look at here. I believe he won an Oscar for Leaving Las Vegas, but that was his Oscar win. Yes, Nicolas Cage was an Oscar winner. And after that, he had a lot of success under his belt. I mean, The Rock, Con Air, Face Off, some minor hits like Snake Eyes, Gone in 60 Seconds, apparently Family Man, da, 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 National Treasure 1 and 2, World Trade Center, the first Ghost Rider, G Force, I guess, even though he was like a voice over, that was my voiceover. But yeah, like he's had some success, but then things took a very strange turn for Nicolas Cage. He developed this reputation for chewing the scenery, for going all in on his performances and being batshit insane in a lot of these movies. I mean, The Wicker Man. That is a movie you all need to experience in order to get like peak Nicolas Cage. Just seeing Nicolas Cage in a bear suit, just running around in a bear suit. He punches a woman for no, just because it just happens, and not to mention the classic. No, not the bees. The bees. That whole scene, classic, peak cinema right there. And then besides The Wicker Man, he's had some other infamous movies. Captain Corleone's Mandolian This. We had like one of the worst accents in movie history. Um, there's that. Obviously, Face Off's been memed on pretty hard for some scenes. Um, what else after that? Oh my god, Grindhouse. There was like a fake trailer for like this movie called what was it called? Darn it. There was one that was called, it wasn't Don't. It was another one. It was about like Nazi zombie werewolves, I think. I'm pretty sure it was. He played like Fu Manchu. I'm not joking. That's what he portrayed in that fake trailer, and that image of him and that outfit is just burned into my brain. We also did Kick Ass. That was legitimately a really good movie, and he was kind of insane in that movie too, playing basically a Batman knockoff. Um, see, there's Ghost Rider 2, which nobody wanted. Then after that, he just made a lot of like low budget, straight to DVD, straight to I guess PVOD movies. And some of these movies are batshit crazy. He definitely has a reputation for making those type of movies. But recently, he's actually made some good movies. Willy's Wonderland, which is essentially a live action Five Nights at Freddy's. I've heard that was actually pretty solid. Then you got Pig here, which was like extremely good from what I hear. So yeah, Nicolas Cage, he has a hell of a reputation. The internet loves this man. They really do. So having his face and name with this movie, I say is a pro in my book. So that's pro number one. Pro number two, this is an action comedy. We haven't had one of these since The Lost City, and that was like way back in March, so that's pretty much done at this point. So when it comes to direct competition, there really isn't any for the foreseeable future. I guess there's Bob's Burgers the movie, but that's animated, and I guess there's that, but that's not till like Memorial Day, so that's a long while from now. But yeah, lack of direct competition, I would consider that a pro. Another pro, reviews for this movie, like Bad Guys and Northman, are very strong. Same. It's like at 80 something percent. I think it's 87, 88. I'm going to check right now. 88%. So if there's one thing that any of the three movies that this weekend, one thing they all have is that they're all good. They all quality is not an issue for any of them. So, and that's the same here. It debuted like at South by Southwest, had a great reaction. That reaction has continued, and I believe its audience score is good as well. It's 89%. So yeah, good reviews, good word of mouth, pro, easy. So that's pro. When it comes to marketing, this movie doesn't have like, it's not as like aggressive as the Bad Guys or the Northman, but you definitely know it exists. I knew it existed. You know, yeah. So you probably been seeing ads for this movie quite a bit, and that's obviously a good thing. You want people to know that this movie exists. So that's a pro. A decent marketing campaign. Another pro I can think of is just how weird this movie is. I mean, it's Nicolas Cage playing a fictionalized version of himself who, I mean, just look at the synopsis. Just read it. You can pause the video right now and read it. It's really bizarre. You really don't see movies like this ever. Like the last one I really remember that even remotely close to this was like This Is the End back in 2013, where you had like James Franco, Seth Rogen, Jonah Hill, Danny McBride, Craig Robinson. Am I missing anybody? I think that's it. No, I'm pretty sure I'm missing someone. I'm gonna check. But yeah, that whole movie. Oh, Michael Cera was in that movie, and he died brutally. And there's like Paul Rudd showed up, Kevin Hart, Emma Watson, Jay Baruchel, him too. Yeah, like that movie was weird, but it was funny, definitely funny. And this gives me similar vibes, even though This Is the End was like apocalyptic. This is more just action comedy, but still, this movie is definitely unique. You can you could definitely call it that, and it definitely stands out. So I would consider that a pro. Another, I think that's it with pros. Okay, cons. Like The Northman, this movie has a similar problem. It's too niche. I feel like this only appeals to like hardcore Nicolas Cage fans, basically people online, and that's it. I don't think the general audience really gets this movie as much as the internet, and that can be a very bad thing because obviously, the internet can be a small but loud minority of people, right? We've seen this happen many times in the past. I mean, look at Snakes on a Plane back in 2006. Everyone back then went gaga over that movie just for like from Samuel L. Jackson being in it, from like the premise to the title. Everyone went nuts. Movie underperformed when it came out. Now, there's proof positive that internet hype does not equal general hype. It usually doesn't. Sometimes it does. Deadpool used the internet to its advantage, absolute advantage, and it paid off fantastically. So, but not every movie can be a Deadpool, right? So, yeah, and yeah, I just think this movie's too niche. So that's a con. This movie's not going to appeal to a whole lot of people. Another con is, Nicolas Cage. I mean, again, like with him, sure, like he's like the funny meme actor now, but he hasn't had like a big hit movie where he was like the star since. Let me look it up. I think like National Treasure 2. No, not before that. It was Knowing in 2009. Well, I guess there's Kick Ass, but he was like the main star of that movie. Yeah, Knowing, which did fine. I did all right. But even then, his track record was all spotty as hell. I mean, look at Bangkok Dangerous, Next, The Wicker Man, Weatherman, Lord of War. Like, it was spotty back then. So yeah, it's hard to say how many people are going to show up to this movie just because Nick Cage is in it playing a fictionalized version of himself. Hard to say, but yeah, I feel like only like big old hardcore Nicolas Cage fans will this will definitely appeal to them. I don't know about anybody else. And Nicolas Cage's overall track record is very spotty. That's a con. The spotty Nicolas Cage track record. Another con I can think of is just competition overall. There's a lot going on in the marketplace. There's the bad guys, there's the Northman, there's Sonic 2, Fantastic Beasts 3, Everything Everywhere All at Once is still going strong. There's a lot. And in these situations, some movies will live, but the rest will die. And I have the strong suspicion that this will die, which sucks royally because I've actually seen this movie. I saw it yesterday, and I thought it was pretty solid, a pretty solid flick. It probably helped that I know about Nicolas Cage quite a bit, so I got a lot of the jokes. But yeah, just I guess competition is a crowded marketplace might do more harm than good for this movie, so that's a con. Another con is his Thursday preview numbers. They're not awful, but they're not super great either. I mean, it did the worst out of the three movies this weekend. I mean, compared, but it did better than Ambulance. You can definitely say that. And Moonfall. Both those movies being utter disasters. This won't have the. This is relatively cheaper than those movies, but still, only being like somewhat better than Ambulance and Moonfall isn't exactly a great thing. And yeah, so the Thursday previews are kind of meh, so I consider that to be a con. Um, I guess I might as well mention this. Like in 2 weeks' time, this movie and pretty much every April movie will die at the hands of Doctor Strange 2. That's what always happens when a Marvel movie opens like in the beginning of May. Any April movie just bites the dust. Historically, that's just how it goes. So, yeah, this movie only has like 2 weeks to make money and then it's game over. All right, so now opening weekend. Um, hard to say. I'm gonna I'm gonna guess between this movie's gonna be front loaded because Nicolas Cage fans are gonna show up firsthand, like opening night. So I'm gonna say between 5 and 10, somewhere in that range, this movie will land. That's where I think it will hit. And then its total will probably be around, depends on its opening weekend, maybe 10 to 20, maybe higher than that, maybe lower than that, but that's what I'm sticking with. So, yeah, that's the unbearable weight of massive talent. And that's it for the weekend. I'm done. Ugh. That's it for the weekend. Next week, I do one movie, and that's Memory, which no one cares about. And then I'll be it for April. So, and then we're off to summer with Doctor Strange 2. So, yeah, stay tuned for that. But, anywho, yeah, that's it. That's all. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, turn notifications, share the whole drill. Want to check out more videos like this? I got a playlist on the homepage. Fill of all previous prediction videos I made this year for all the major movies, all even some of the weirder ones like Everything Everywhere All at Once. This definitely fits in with that. So, yeah, if you want to watch any of the prediction videos I made this year, you can go right ahead. There's also the canceled series where I go over all the movies that were supposed to come out but didn't. I never covered this movie once, so yeah, wanted to mention that. Um, but I did make three canceled episodes in 1 week. Episodes like 116, 117, 118. So yeah, so if you want to watch any of the those canceled episodes or any of the others, like all 118 of them, 2 weeks of no 2 years worth of content, go right ahead. Binge watch the whole thing. I recommend it. There's also box office recaps where I go over the box office results for any particular month. April recap will come out first week of May, right before Doctor Strange 2. Boy, that's gonna be a video. Can't wait to discuss all those movies. But if you so stay tuned for that. But if you want to watch any of the past recap videos I made on the channel, you can go right ahead. And yeah, that's it. That's all. I am out. Goodbye.